G'day everyone, Michelle J. Riemann. I thought I'd do something a little bit of fun here today. I am going to do a profile review of Jimmy Donaldson, aka Mr. Beast. 152 million subscribers, #1 individual on YouTube. That has been an amazing achievement over a long period of time. Didn't happen overnight. This guy has been at it for almost 10 years and he's only 24. So he started way earlier. Look how much effort he puts into this. Look how much he gives away. Look how much he's doing for thumbnails. For all this effort, what I'd love to see is the same amount of effort goes into his LinkedIn profile. And I'm going to guess that he needs some help. So I'm going to step you through it, show you what I would do so that it actually represents Mr. Beast in the best way possible. This video in no way has been endorsed. He is not a part of this LinkedIn review. And in this case, I'm very confident that Jimmy is not looking for a new role and he's very comfortable with what he's doing on YouTube and his philanthropy efforts. What I thought we would do is go over Jimmy's LinkedIn profile and use that as a case study for what I would do when I work with founders to improve their LinkedIn presence. Having a really strong founder brand is really important, just as much as having your employees and your company brands. The three of them all come together. Founders, when it comes to LinkedIn, I know that you're probably not using it to go out and find a new job. And you may be thinking, what is the point in completing your LinkedIn profile? Well, here's the thing. You will want to work with customers. You will want to work with investors. You will want to work with suppliers. There is a whole industry that you work within that will want to know the kind of business, the kind of person you are, so that they can judge whether they should work with you or not. You're creating an impression on LinkedIn. Now, does that marry up to your fancy website, your other socials, or does it let the team down? Let's dive into LinkedIn. Take notes because this applies no matter whether you're a founder of a small business or the #1 YouTube channel. The same rules apply. I'm going to show you what I would do, what I would look at, and what I would improve. When we land on Jimmy's profile, the first thing that we're going to do is always check what I call the holy triangle of profiles. We want to check your profile photo always. #1, go straight to that. We want a face shot that's normally straight on, showing teeth, which makes you more approachable and friendly. And let's be clear, we're all judging each other just by that little photo. So normally straight on, your face takes about 70% of the circle. So zoom in, crop the photo, whatever it needs to be, and take this as an opportunity to brand the background of your image. Of course, Jimmy's got a bit of character in his profile picture, and that totally makes sense with his brand. The next thing that we always have a look at is the banner. Think about that as your advertising space. It takes up so much room and it really is your chance to grab attention. Now, most people underutilize this area. In this case, I really love what he's done because if you have a look at Jimmy's YouTube channel, it says subscribe for a cookie. So he's brought that same style across over onto his LinkedIn profile, which is great. So follow for a cookie. The one thing that I would do is I would shift follow for a cookie a little bit further to the right so that it's not almost on top of the photo and cut off. The problem with LinkedIn is they display very differently on mobile and desktop. Depending how you're looking at this picture, depends what you'll actually see. Banners, use color, use words, use images. It doesn't matter which one you use, but what does matter is, does it represent you? Does your personality come out? I want to know what is it about this that immediately when I see it, I know what you're all about. So think about that free advertising space and second most important thing on the profile when we visit. So third most important thing that I would say on your profile, and sometimes these orders change depending when I'm doing it, is your LinkedIn headline, which is this little bit under your name. That is something that when you comment, when you show up in searches, what's happening is that that's following you everywhere. Your photo and your headline come with you. No more just using your old school job titles. No more just keeping it CEO or founder of. That's boring and it's a wasted opportunity. What is it that you're out to do? And in this case, I love that he's on a mission to be the biggest YouTuber of all time. Tick, you've done that. But I actually think that there's something more that Jimmy could add to this because He does an amazing amount of philanthropy work, and I really think that what he's been doing there is just as much a part of him now, if not more than just the videos. I would add that in. As founders, we evolve over time, and sometimes it's important to come back and update, make sure that our LinkedIn profile reflects what we've evolved into. The other thing that I would have a look at on this screen, you can see over on the right-hand side, we've got this people also viewed. In your LinkedIn settings, there is a setting where you can turn off people also viewed from displaying on your profile. Now, why would you want that? It's really this easy. Imagine you've done all this work to bring somebody to your profile and then they get distracted, shiny object syndrome. Oh, who's these people over here on the right that LinkedIn suggests that I should know? As soon as I click on one of those buttons, bang, I'm gone off this profile. If they don't come back, you've lost them, which is the last thing that we want. One of the things that, of course, is going to be different in this example, but if I click on contact info, you can see that there's no way of getting hold of him. Now, of course, we can go to the website, and that's the information that I would update here. So his MrBeast website and his MrBeast philanthropy website. Those two things are the contacts that I would put in here. I wouldn't be adding in email addresses, or if he's got a generic one, if you're a founder or a CEO that doesn't want to get hounded by people on LinkedIn, then totally do that. But if you are not MrBeast and you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of it, go back, check that contact info. Like, honestly, the number of times that I go there and people have outdated Twitter accounts, like in this case, I know he's also got a Twitter account. Add that in there. If you're trying to build subscribers, this is an opportunity for you. Everything we do on social is all connected. So we want to bring these things together. One of the things that I can see here also on his profile is there's no pronoun showing. Pronouns may be he, his, or they may be they. It doesn't matter, but it's a really cool sign to show others that it's okay to choose your pronouns. Now, is it compulsory? Absolutely not. Is it helping other people to make those choices? For sure. So that might be something else that you can add. He's a LinkedIn top voice and has 125,000 followers. So a long way to go before we hit that 152 million that he's got subscribers over on YouTube. But really, there shouldn't be any reason that we're not cross-pollinating those two things. Different audiences, but we're meeting them at different times. The algorithms are different, what shows to different people. Ultimately, he wants people to watch YouTube videos. That's how he makes money that he can then give away. LinkedIn can be a source of traffic back to YouTube. It's an opportunity that I think he's not taking advantage of here. We're going to scroll down to the About section. For most business founders, what you are going to do in here is have a much fuller About section that goes up to 2,600 characters. It should be full of keywords, who you are, what you do, who you help. Like, what's the transformation that you offer people? In this case, again, Jimmy doesn't have to go to that much effort given where he's at, but you know, he wants to make the world a better place before he dies. Like, I think that's a pretty noble cause. And if the philanthropy work is really important, he could link to those websites and direct people there. You just never know who's going to reach out and help. If you have an About section that's pretty light on, you've got some homework, unfortunately. The same would happen with most CEOs and founders that I go and work with. When we have a look at your work experience, what's missing is your experience. What makes you different? Where did you come from? How did you get this started? What was the points that led up to this? When you have your work experience, again, the temptation is to say, who cares? I'm not looking for a job. Well, guess what? Everybody out there that is looking to partner with your company or maybe work with your company, maybe buy with your company, all of these partnerships and collaborations, the first thing that they'll do is go straight to the founder's profile and have a look around. Same goes for investors. Maybe you're going after more rounds of funding. They are going to come and have a look at this. We want to really bring forward all of your skills and experience. I would normally list this. What are the key things that you're doing as far as your skills, your day-to-day activities, and really focus on those achievements. So what have you been delivering? let's be clear, that's what people care about. Again, this needs to be loaded with keywords. That helps the LinkedIn algorithm show your profile in more searches. For Mr. Beast, it's got a bit of work to do as far as all of these work experiences goes. I would pad them out. The other thing that happens is for each of your work experiences, we can add skills in there. So when we edit, we can go back and add them for which jobs we work in. This all adds up to the strength of your profile if you think about it like that. We want more keywords. We want to be known for certain things so that when someone goes to the search bar on LinkedIn and they type in their question or what they're looking for, if you are the expert in that area, we want to make sure that not only do you show in that search, we don't want you to lose people when they come across onto your profile because they get there and go, huh? What is this profile? Like, this is rubbish. Volunteering, like what you can see here are some grey buildings, and that's because there is no company page that's been set up for Beast Philanthropy. If I was them, I would set up a company page or a showcase page is probably more appropriate. Link it back to Mr. Beast Productions, which is in there. And then that way you get rid of those grey buildings. Adds to credibility, and obviously it's something that's really, really important to Jimmy and something that he really loves. It's not really volunteering. I think this can also come up to work experience and be included in here. You can see he's got lots of different projects on the go, so I totally get it. Let's have a look. Honors and awards. Most founders that I work with, they forget to go back and add in all of this stuff. It's just kind of, I've been there, done that. Please go back, take some time, keep it as a record. I've worked with too many people that have done some amazing study and put so much hours into it, and then they forget to go back and update this. And again, credibility, strength, aligned to whatever your business goals are is the ultimate outcome. Now, he's got some interests here. Well, totally makes sense that 2 of his companies are on there. And it would be great to have, the philanthropy side of the business also showing. If we have a look at this, he's also missing some sections. There's no recommendations, which would normally be sitting down the bottom. It might seem funny here because, of course, he's not going for a job, but are you trying to show credibility? Maybe you want speaking gigs. Maybe you want to appear on podcasts or moderate sessions or go for board positions. If those are your goals, we want to make sure we give you the best chance possible by adding this up. The same with his skills section, that's missing as well. So I can't show you that, but it just shows you that this profile doesn't have everything included in here. It's going to be different. I totally get it. Mr. Beast is not out to be number 1 on LinkedIn. I'm very confident that this isn't a primary focus for anything that he does. But at the same time, if you have a look at his activity and I go to his posts, him or someone on his team are, kind of putting out there some of the recent works. This was a video from 3 weeks ago. And this is something where he's really proud of being one of Time's 100 most influential people. And that's such a cool acknowledgement and something that I would make sure is included in sections on his profile. You can see that he taught at Harvard, another huge moment that's come through here. And where I would save some of these things is when you go onto a profile, if you've got some really standout things that you're proud of or achievements, not all of us are going to be in Time's 100 most influential people or teach at Harvard, but you can add them to your featured section. This is something that is also missing from Jimmy's profile. And I'm going to show you when I come across onto my profile to show you how cool the featured section looks. Have a look at this. This is how much room he is missing out on highlighting things that are important to him. Now, that can be the philanthropy. That could be the latest video. That could be his biggest YouTube video. That could be a link to get people to subscribe to the channel. All kinds of different ways that you can use this. And they go across to the right. And that's how you can show people all the cool things and important achievements. And you can use these differently. From this perspective, I would also say that there's not enough content coming out, and it's certainly not going to be a shortage of the content that he has, because there's certainly more than enough coming through. If you have a look at some of this, just clicked over 150 million YouTube subscribers. If you have a look at some of his activity, and you can see the increase in subscribers that he has had over time. And this wasn't an overnight success. This is not somebody that just started creating content. And I think this slide is so important for people, especially on LinkedIn. He started, over 10 years ago, and saw very little growth, kept studying, kept learning, and then eventually it takes off. Now think about that. There's a lesson in that for all of us. If I was in charge of updating and doing the profile recharge for Jimmy to bring it up to LinkedIn standards, I would review the banner, maybe have a new photo, review the headline, update those contact details, even if it is to drive people across to YouTube or websites, and include the philanthropy part of his business as well. I'd also make sure that I've got featured videos or featured links. Again, they can highlight things that are important. They can send you to other places and really be a source of traffic. And so you can be smart around that. Now, the about section on this one, pretty light on for most people. I'm going to encourage you, don't forget, what is it you do? More importantly, who do you do it for? And what's the transformation that you give them? When I'm scrolling somebody's LinkedIn profile, the only thing I care about is, what have you got that I want? It's that simple. I don't really care how amazing you are. I just want to know that you're amazing and going to make a difference in my world. So think about it from that perspective. We want to add in skills sections. We want to add in recommendations. If your LinkedIn profile is letting you down, it's not optimized for keywords, you're not showing up in searches, you're not representing your business in the best way possible. While we're updating the founder's LinkedIn profile, I want you to go and take a quick moment and see whether your LinkedIn company page is letting the team down. Go and check out your company page, make sure that it reflects where your brand's at, where it's headed, what your goals are. Now, whether you need just a company page or a company page and a showcase page to highlight different brands, that will form part of your strategy. The same things apply. You want to make sure that your banner is okay, your headline is okay. We don't have as much room here. And the about section, we don't want that to let the team down. I'm going to guess that this company page was set up probably around 2 years ago in 2020, and it lists all these pretty amazing achievements. Now, since then, there's even more amazing achievements on bigger and crazier scales. And these are the kinds of things that we should go back and update. It's always important to come back and update. So that's the about section. As far as the posts go on the company page, let's have a look at what's going on the company page. I'm going to cry. Nothing's been posted for around 9 months. So this is another opportunity that's missed. And whilst it may not apply, again, I know MrBeast isn't focusing on LinkedIn, but you might be. Is your company page really representing the dream that you had when you founded your business? Now, if that answer is no, you've got some homework to do on this one as well to make sure that your company page doesn't let the team down. If you don't think that people look at your LinkedIn, then here's what I want you to know. Go and Google your business name or your individual name, and you are going to find that your LinkedIn profile and your LinkedIn company page are going to show up in that first page of results for most businesses. What happens is people go to your website, then they're going to click onto the LinkedIn profile or the LinkedIn company page, come across onto LinkedIn, and what impression do they get? Are you rolling out that red carpet, or are you literally just going, this is a ghost town that I don't care about? So the choice is yours. I would always recommend with my clients that we optimize both, show up in as much searches, create the best impression possible, and really put our best foot forward. If you need any help, you know where to find me, Michelle J. Raymond. I'm over on LinkedIn. I hope you come and connect. Cheers.